Hi, this is Harsha, your cricket radio broadcaster, and we got two very special personalities with us right now. Yes, of course, the greatest all-rounder of all time, Mr. Kapil Dev, and also we got Ajay Sethi, founder of Cricket Radio. So, what we're going to do is quickly check on how did cricket radio actually happen. We have Mr. Ajay Sethi. Quick one, cricket radio ki शुरुआत कैसे हुई? How did it actually start?
It was 2009 in T20 World Cup in Nottingham. Mr. Sunil Gavaskar launched this radio and it was on the internet. It's the first internet radio on the cricket sports, and also we are on FM AMs, and also we are covering this on All India Radio, the first time ever in the history of All India Radio, the private sports radio doing a live commentary.
Right. Now, radio is a very powerful medium. I remember way back in time, Kapil Paji scored 175. The only place that it got covered was the radio. And now Kapil Paji is with us. Coming back to radio, you must have grown listening to commentary on radio. And now you are in the commentary panel. How does it feel like?
I don't know. It's nobody asked me before, so I can't really say anything. Yes, it's a good feeling. You can express your thought, whatever it goes, and try to bring people more close to the sports.
How powerful do you think radio is as a medium for promoting cricket?
I think very, very strong, because people don't have enough time. Everybody can't go and see test matches. See the television and watch everything, but way the pace of our life is so quick, so wherever you get a chance, you can switch on to the radio and get the feedback of what's happening on sports. The people who love the game, they like to listen, even they can't stop and go to the cricket ground and see matches, or sit at home and watch on television. There is a lot of time to everybody who's traveling, doing something. You can still listen to the game and try to come to know. I remember olden days, people used to express their feelings and give such minor details about the game when the television wasn't there, and it was wonderful. And if we can bring the people close to the game, and we can take them and give them a little bit that much more knowledge about the game, it's wonderful.
Right, Kapil, don't you think it's much more challenging for a radio commentator to give a visual feel on the radio and actually bring cricket alive as a visual medium on radio? It must be more of a challenge here.
Yeah, I think in the beginning a little bit challenge, but then you come to know the best part about radio is you get the feedback from the people when you meet them, and they come and say, look, I didn't like that, or you given that story very differently and we never realized that. So I think every medium have its own way to put things together, and how big you can tell the stories and how close to the reality you can take it through the talk. I think that's what it matters.
Right. And how did AIR and cricket radio tie-up actually happen?
It's just, I felt this is very, very important. The radio should goes to everybody's with more detail, as the sportsmen should sit here, and it's a new medium of letting the cricketers to go close to the people and trying to know their views. A lot of cricketers played the games, but not many people knows their thought process. Handful people can do television, handful people can do radio, handful people can do the umpiring, handful people can go into the cricket where they're teaching cricket. So all the cricketer must come back and try to do something. And every job has its own charm. So I personally feel, radio is a big charm to all the listeners. And second, if we can bring the local language, people who played for that, like Bengali played for India, or Tamilian or Gujarati played, if we can take the help of,
We got a new comment
with Bharti, then it makes so much sense. That's the way it is. Like we use their language, and we can explain in Gujarati, we can explain in Bengali, and everybody doesn't understand Hindi or English, so you keep on helping every type of people to bring close to the game.
Right. India-England series is on. What more can we expect from Cricket Radio? You've seen some best of cricket happening with Cricket
I
Radio.
think more what you expect from Cricket Radio, I don't know, but we expect more from Indian team.
Right.
If they can play well. Again, I think it's a very new thing. Cricket Radio have done that. With over the period of time, in a couple of years, I think they will be more mature, more technology, better facilities, and better reach to the people, and then it will get the momentum. At the moment, it's very, very new, so everybody doesn't know what's exactly happening. It's not the olden days you talk about, आकाश में बादल छाए हुए हैं, इस तरह की सोचा करते थे. Today you go much more very deep into the game, and you can discuss about that, and that what radio can give you back, and Radio 2 can suddenly want to go into detail about the game.
Okay, well, we got to cut it short here. Cricket Radio is with a mission of upping the ante of cricket and bringing to you the very best of cricketing action onto your radio sets. And well, they're going to keep you abreast with everything that's happening in the world of cricket. From me, Harsha, signing off.
Now, he's done it in the cause of the team. Here's Anderson to Rahul Dravid, who glides it down to third man. And Stuart Broad will do the fielding. Rahul Dravid off the mark. India go to 31. My word, Farooq, with the amount of rain we've seen, this outfield is lightning quick.
Absolutely. I mean, hats off to the ground staff. The way they've worked hard, to keep the wicket dry. And this is, the ball will be wet, so it won't be swinging as much. And that's an advantage for India. But Dravid off the mark very quickly. And it's up to Rahane now to pick up the pieces. He's the senior batsman of the crease, so to say. He's been there for 3.4 overs, and he's seeing the ball a bit better.
Here's next one from James Anderson, played away on the onside, but there is a leg gully in place, and there will be no possibility of a run. Tucked away fine by Rahane, but not for runs. 31 for 1, 31 run, 1 wicket के नुकसान पर चौथे ओवर की आखिरी गेंद होने वाली है. And what a beautiful sight and hot spot as we see it on our monitors, Farooq. Looks absolutely clean. So maybe he didn't nick it.
No, that's what I thought you said clean out. I don't think it was out. I said it all along.
Here's Anderson to Rahane, plays it defensively, 4 overs gone, 31 for 1.
Should have reviewed it, ask me.
Hot spot is not so hot.
Snooze is very hot.
रखते हुए यही कह सकते हैं कि हाँ, थोड़ी सी टीम में बहुत बड़ी चेंजेस आई और कहीं ना कहीं उसका इफेक्ट नजर आ रहा है.
हम हिंदुस्तान के लिए इतने खेले, कभी इतनी इंजरीज एक साथ कभी देखी नहीं है. 8 प्लेयर और इन स्पाइट ऑफ दैट हमारे जवान लास्ट मैच में अच्छे खेले, अच्छे परफॉर्मेंस दिए. अभी धोनी का आई फील सैड फॉर हिम इन अ वे because youngsters inexperienced है, but it's a great opportunity for the youngsters to come and grab this opportunity because the old players can't go on forever.
Yeah, Farooq, I don't feel.
Toss in the first over, as you would have heard already, England winning the toss for the 4th time consecutively and deciding to put India in. Alongside me, former India captain Ajay Jadeja. Very good morning to you, Ajay.
Very good morning to all the viewers back home as well.
Yes, and indeed, we'll tell you about the changes in the side. The Indian team, of course, unchanged, and England making just the one change. We'll get Ajay's thoughts on that in a moment. Steve Finn, the tall fast bowler coming in, and certainly this wicket, Ajay, as we've seen all through, very green again.
Fond memories, but I do have a story to tell, and I'll carry on after this delivery.
Yes, and this one's again down the leg side, wide again. Anderson a little bit off direction in this first over, 5 without loss.
Going back to that story, I played one test match here in 1996, the same game that I was referring to where Rahul and Saurav Ganguly made their test debuts. And I was almost a certainty in the one-day side. In fact, I was the vice captain on the tour. But in test cricket, I hadn't established myself. I was struggling.
Here's Anderson and beats him outside the off stump. Good delivery. No runs, no wickets. Down, 5 without loss.
To take the story forward, so we were playing a test match here. There was a good bowling attack the opposition had. You had Ellen Mullally in those days. Dominic Cork was effective. But one of the weakest bowlers, or the weakest link that England had at that time, and I don't even recall. I don't know if he ever got another wicket after that. There was a bowler.
Here's Anderson.
You obviously have left a lot more grass on the pitch for the rest of the matches, and that's why the Indian batsmen have struggled.
They certainly have. It's 6 without loss. Ajinkya Rahane on strike to see Finn. Finn comes in and goes and beats Rahane outside the off stump. Lovely ball, just moving away. Sunny, there's a story about the '83 World Cup final, isn't it? We understand that after the last wicket fell, something happened to the ball. Where did that ball really go? Tell all our listeners, please.
Well, Mohinder Ramnath bowled the ball. Michael Olding tried to play the pull shot, missed it, was plumb in front, and the ball ricocheted off the pads towards the backward point position or gully position. And I was in that Holkar, for example. He was super confident. Yes, there are always going to be in every team a couple of players, or maybe 4 players who are going to feel a little intimidated.
Outside the off stump, left alone, 2 overs gone, 7 without loss.
Difficult, and that's the reason why the Indian team looks a little bit unsettled with all the injuries that have happened to the major players.
Is it okay now?
Anderson bowls at this time with the back foot, hit away but not timed well. Only as far as cover, no runs scored. It's a slow start.
It is a slow start. It reminds me of the 1983 World Cup finals. We had a similar kind of start. Joel Garner, as tall, or maybe slightly taller than Steve Finn, bowling from the very end, the same end, the pavilion end. To me, I just didn't connect a single ball for I think about 8 deliveries. And of the 9th, he bowled on the pads, and I took a leg by. Now, Joel Garner and I had shared a flat.
Yes, come back to that. Defensively played away, no runs, 8 without loss.
Shared a flat when we were playing for Somerset in 1980. And this was the 1983 finals. So as I got the leg by, and as I was going past him, he was there in his follow-through, walking back to his mark. I just said to him, "Hey, Big Bird, how about a half volley for your flat net to get off the mark?" And he turned on and said, "No man, this is the World Cup final."
8 without loss. Yes, lots of great stories in store for all of our listeners today as Anderson both defensively played back. There's also this story that Sunny were telling us some time ago about how you
अच्छा ड्राइव 1 रन के लिए सुनील वैसे जो यहाँ पर सवाल खड़ा किया था गेंदबाज ने उसका बड़ा अच्छा जवाब दिया रन ने
हाँ अच्छी तरह से उन्होंने गैप से बॉल मारी एक जो शॉर्ट मिड ऑफ जो कपिल कह रहे थे बहुत वो भी अच्छी मूव थी एलिस्टर कुक की क्योंकि इसके पहले की जो ओवर थी स्वान की तो सुरेश रैना ने वहाँ से काफ़ी मार के सिंगल्स लिए थे तो वो ब्लॉक करना चाह रहे थे पर इस बार सुरेश रैना थोड़ा सा इनसाइड आउट खेले और दोनों फील्डर के बीच में उन्होंने सिंगल पाई
और अगली गेंद इस बार बैक टू द बॉलर खेली धोनी ने कोई रन नहीं और फील्ड अगर धोनी के लिए बात करें तो ऑफ साइड पर 3 फील्डर जो है वो सर्कल के अंदर हैं तो कम से कम यहां पर एक बार फिर से ये चीज साबित होती है सनील कि जो ऑन साइड पर फील्डर है कोशिश वो यही रखेंगे कि मिडल और लेग की लेंथ हो इसी बीच एक और गेंद इस बार फिर से फ्रंट फुट पर खेला उन्होंने लेकिन सीधा फील्डर के पास कोई रन नहीं सुनील
देखिए वापस एक शॉर्ट सिंगल लेने की कोशिश थी ग्रैम स्वॉन बहुत ही अच्छी बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं हमेशा जब इंडिया ओवरसीज खेलती है तो वो जब स्पिनर आते हैं ऑपोजिशन के स्पिनर आते हैं तो उनको टारगेट करना चाहते हैं उनसे ज्यादा रन लेने की कोशिश करते हैं
ओवर की अगली गेंद और इस बार फिर से अच्छा ड्राइव लेकिन सीधा बैक टू द बॉलर सुनील
और हमने देखा है कि स्वॉन इतनी अच्छी बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं कि अब इस ओवर में सिर्फ एक ही रन हो गए पहले ओवर में उन्होंने 2 विकेट पाए तो जो अटैक करना चाहते हैं वो इंडियन बॉलर्स अटैक नहीं करना चाहते क्योंकि इंडिया स्पिन काफी खेलती है
ओवर की अगली गेंद इस बार ब्लॉक हॉल में और आसानी के साथ खेला अभी तक सिर्फ 1 रन आया जी सुनील
डोमेस्टिक क्रिकेट में काफ़ी स्पिन बॉलिंग खेली जाती है, इसीलिए भारतीय बल्लेबाज स्पिनर्स के साथ थोड़े से ज़्यादा कंफर्टेबल होते हैं, थोड़े से आसानी से खेल
थोड़ा
पाते हैं।
कैजुअल नहीं हो जाते सुनील?
हाँ, थोड़े से आज लगा मुझे कि थोड़े से कैजुअल हुए थे।
और ओवर की आखिरी गेंद ड्राइव कर दिया है 1 रन के लिए, और इसी के साथ 30 ओवर के बाद 121 रन 4 विकेट के नुकसान पर इंडिया।
From Rahul Dravid, nobody really has carried on to get 100, and that's been the reason why India has not put up big scores. Just once they got 300 runs in the Test series.
President Dhoni has a big swing at it outside the off stump, looking for the cover boundary, doesn't make any contact. And Sonny, you've always maintained, haven't you, that an opening partnership, a settled opening partnership is very important. In this game again, we saw a decent start, and then suddenly 2 wickets going down. Probably a touch of impatience, immaturity maybe?
I think a combination of both. Immaturity on the part of Ajinkya Rahane,
President Bowles played away, no runs on the onside.
and impatience on the part of Parthiv Patel. I would have thought that when the substitutes came in with a change of bat for the batsman, for Ajinkya Rahane, and also when they came to have a look at Parthiv Patel's injury, the instructions should have come in from the dressing room. Guys, you're trying to play too many shots. You're trying to play rash shots. You're taking unnecessary risks.
President Bowles and Dhoni can do no more than defend on the offside.
I think absolutely Sunil is right. That's the time I also felt, what the hell they are trying to do? At this stage, the senior cricketer would have been, I think Parthiv Patel have played more cricket. They should go to each other. Let's settle down. We got a good start. Let's not lose wicket. And I think both lack in experience more than anything else.
Well, I think the problem really is that I think all the matches, these two have tried to play like it's a 2020.
Played over in the offside, no runs again. Just a hint of rain, sunny in the air. We can see a few drops on the glass in front of us in the commentary position. The last thing that India want right now.
I know, because this kind of weather is just right for the England bowlers. They'll be able to get more out of it. And what happens with this kind of rain is you don't go off the field. This little drizzle, but what it does, it freshens the pitch up and makes the ball skid off.
President again goes to Dhoni outside the off stump, lets it go through. Good over from England's point of view so far. No runs off it, 31 gone, 121 for 4.
तकलीफ है। आप अजय से कुछ पूछ रहे थे, क्या पूछ रहे थे?
जी बिल्कुल। वैसे अजय मैं आपके पास वापस आऊंगा, लेकिन इस गेंद के बाद एंडरसन एक बार फिर से गेंदबाजी करने के लिए तैयार, और इस बार रैना, और इस बार एक बार फिर से उन्होंने गेंद को खेल दिया है। बिल्कुल लेट कट कहा जा सकता है थर्ड मैन की दिशा में, और 1 रन वहां पर आसानी के साथ हासिल किया। अजय, जैसे कि अभी हम देख रहे थे कि अभी कुछ ओवर पहले ऑफ स्टिक के बाहर जब गेंद थी तो धोनी ने उसको जाने दिया था, लेकिन अब जो ओवर्स है हर गेंद पर वो अपना बल्ला छूना चाहते हैं, टच करना चाहते हैं, किसी भी तरीके से गेंद बल्ले से लगनी चाहिए।
जी बिल्कुल ठीक कहा, क्योंकि अब गेंदें कितनी 9 गेंदें रह गई हैं इस खेल में, आपके पास 6 विकेट है और गेम भी बदल गई है। उस वक्त वो विकेट है, क्योंकि आउट भी हो जाए तो आपके पास पीछे विकेट्स बची हैं, और इस स्टेज पे विकेट का कोई ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ता। 43rd ओवर में विकेट गिरती तो आपको 25-30 रन का डिफरेंस हो सकता है। इस स्टेज पे अगर विकेट गिरे या ना, 8 बॉलें बची हैं, एट द मोस्ट आप 22 रन और बना लेंगे, वर्स खेलेंगे तो 10 रन आप बनाएंगे। तो इसलिए गेम का अब जो पलटना है, अब गेंदबाजी पे अगली इनिंग जब शुरू होगी।
बिल्कुल, एंडरसन इस बार राइट अराउंड द स्टंप्स रैना के लिए, और इस बार उन्होंने खेल दिया है पॉइंट के ऊपर से ठीक गैप के बीच में से, गेंद बाउंड्री के बाहर, 4 रन।
बिल्कुल सही कहा अजय ने कि अभी 2 ही चीजें हो सकती हैं, या तो 12 रन बन सकते हैं या 20-22 रन बन सकते हैं, और ये दोनों की पॉसिबिलिटी है 22 और 25 रन बनाने की इन बॉलों पर। लेकिन सबसे ज्यादा है कि अब आप बॉलिंग कैसे करोगे। कहीं ना कहीं वो जो हम बारिश की अनुमान कर रहे थे वो नहीं है।
इसी बीच अगली गेंद फिर से ड्राइव किया है उन्होंने, गेंद आ रही है लॉन्ग ऑफ की दिशा में बड़ी सादगी के साथ, और यहां पर कोशिश, 4 रन। ओवर समाप्त हुआ 49 ओवर के बाद, 270 रन, भारत 4 विकेट के नुकसान पर।
और यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा अभिषेक का प्रॉब्लम
गई, उसकी हैमस्ट्रिंग गई। मिस फील्ड का मुजाहरा।
You know, to me, you know, Vivian Richard catch was the most important thing. Of course, it was turning point at that time. Viv was one of the most dangerous batsmen in world cricket during that period. But knowing Clive Lloyd, I was more worried about that because previously his experience, he can handle that situation better than anybody else. I remember he pulled his muscle, he pulled his right thigh. And I was talking to Roger Binney. I said, man, don't give him short pitch ball because let him put weight on the front foot. Let him hit cover drive. I think that was, luck was on our side also. No doubt we played good cricket, but his wicket was more important than anything else.
Clive, you were driving the ball on that day and you got out in the same delivery. In fact, the way mentioned by Kapil. So, 183, the score. Do you think you deserve to lose that match?
Well, I suppose when you think of it, it's not a big score. But yeah, that's one-day cricket. You know, you lose wickets, people panic. And we had a couple of guys that were playing in a World Cup final for the first time. You know, they looked at 183 and said, "Wow, this is done deal." But you know, the game is not over until it's over. And they played very well. The good thing about India winning that game and winning the trophy is that it gave India that chance to realize that they can compete, you know, in this atmosphere, this type of cricket. And from then on, India really started to have players that were playing a lot more shots. You look at and then you have a third seamer with two spinners, and India bat fairly deep. So I think they can be a very good side if they can just get two guys that can, you know, make players stand up and think.
Do you think 281 is enough on the board for Indian bowling attack?
No, sorry, I'm not hearing you.
280 is good enough for this team.
Well, it's a good pitch. 5 and over is not difficult. To get here, and this ground here, the minute you beat the infield, you can get a boundary quite easily. So it is.
Our boys are fielding, giving away twos instead of ones, and giving away ones when there shouldn't be a single. I mean, the fielding is so deep, and Dhoni has to play the fielding deep at this stage because if they bring it up, I'm sure they will go for some, interesting shots there.
Batting power play has been called. The rain is coming down quite seriously, and let's take a look at what the Duckworth Lewis par score is. I think it's 230. Now for 6 wickets with 6 overs remaining, the Duckworth par score is 235. So India are 2 runs ahead at this stage if the umpires decide to call it off.
Well, you could see Graham Swan and Bopara looking in the England dressing room and asking them what's the position about the Duckworth Lewis thing, because it can change every minute or with every ball. And
it's driving rain now, Farooq. You can see it even on our screens.
The Indians know that they are ahead at this stage and taking their own time, and of course Swan not too happy about that, having a few words with Dhoni and Munaf.
Well, he's entitled to, Mahendra Singh Dhoni is entitled to take his time. Can't take forever, but he's allowed to take a little bit.
This is not cheating, it's professionalism. As Bopara covered the wicket.
Yeah.
You know, the word professionalism covers a multitude of sins.
So 2 runs ahead India at this stage if the game is called off, but that, as I repeat, is not likely to happen. 6 overs are still to be bowled. And somehow, and there we go, the covers are coming on. For how long, we don't know. But if there is no further play, Farooq, India will have got their first victory. But let me hasten to add, it seems like a passing shower, and there may be a reduction in overs and a revised target, but at the moment, the covers are coming on. That's all that we can really say with any degree of confidence.
Well, Dhoni and the Indian team's ploy worked to a certain extent, taking the act because they could have started an over and perhaps the umpire would have allowed them to bowl an over. But it is a little bit windy now, and behind the dark cloud, it is clear. But who knows, behind those clear clouds, are there more dark clouds,